A hunky devil-may-care novelist travels to Voodoo Island in the Caribbean to find inspiration for his next novel, only to be met by a voodoo cult leader who is intent on taking over the world with his army of zombies. Hey creeps, welcome to my tub of terror. My name is Scarah, damsel of the doomed, and today we are going to talk about the movie I Eat Your Skin. And we're going to do so rather quickly because these bubbles won't last forever. I Eat Your Skin is a black and white horror movie made in 1964. Now I know I said we were going to do movies from the 70s right now, and we are. This movie actually wasn't put out until 1970. You see, it was first filmed under the name Caribbean Paradise to trick investors into thinking it was some kind of family-friendly movie, not a zombie movie. Well, it didn't work and the movie was shelved for years until Jerry Gross found it. Now, Jerry Gross, if you haven't seen my review of I Drink Your Blood, I did it last time. Go ahead and watch that. But Jerry Gross produced that movie as well, and he needed another movie to add to his double feature. So he found this movie, which had now taken on the name of Zombie Bloodbath or Zombies or something like that, some zombie movie. And he changed the title to I Eat Your Skin. So that would be something that would go just like a salt and pepper shaker, just really nice together for a double feature. And the rest is history. Although I Eat Your Skin is an excellent movie title and a pretty good pickup line, I have to say I was kind of disappointed that there is no actual skin eating in this movie. But it's still, it's a fun movie for what it is. Look, if you like stereotypes, if you like voodoo zombies, if you like Scooby-Doo type shenanigans, this is the movie for you. Cheesy sets, you know what I mean? Very low budget, some low current racism maybe, but it was 1964. It's kind of to be expected. That's also tied up and involved in this movie. The plot basically is there's this dude, he's a womanizer, he writes books, he wants to go to this island to kind of come up with the idea for his next novel. He goes with his publisher and the publisher's wife. The first thing that happens is they kind of have to crash land on the island, and then he sees this naked girl, and then there's a zombie that he has to chase off. He shoots the zombie lives because it's a zombie. Let me say something about zombies right now. Zombies in 1964, this was before A Night of the Living Dead that changed everything. Zombies back then were always voodoo zombies. It was a voodoo thing. It wasn't anything but voodoo back in those days. So these are native island voodoo zombies. Our novelist / hero escapes the zombie and goes up to the house where he's staying, where he's met by this kind of eccentric, rich millionaire guy. And he asks if there's zombies on the island, which, by the way, is called Voodoo Island. So I think, you would think something's afoot. And that guy's like, oh no, there's no such thing as zombies on this island. There's just simple people. He actually says they're simple people, which again, low current racism, I don't know. Anyway, what ends up happening, let's cut to the chase, shall we? What ends up happening is the daughter of the scientist that lives on the island is, of course, a blonde, buxom, good-looking virgin. She gets kidnapped by the voodoo cult. I couldn't remember the word. She gets kidnapped by the voodoo cult, and they have to rescue her. Long story short, they find out that the doctor who was researching a cure for cancer, how noble of him, was using the natives as subjects for his research, how unnoble of him, and honestly kind of Hitler-like, you know what I mean? Like, is this Nazi Germany? I don't know. But he's experimenting on them and ends up creating zombies. Oh my goodness. So the rich millionaire guy that basically owns the island discovers this, forces the doctor to keep making these zombies, and is trying to build a zombie army. The only thing that can be done is the novelist rescues the virgin. Actually, I think he sleeps with her first, so, to try and prevent them from sacrificing her. It's a whole thing, whatever. But he ends up rescuing her, blowing up the island, which is inhabited by natives that are not zombies. They're just regular natives, and then you have your zombie natives. But oh my God, he blows them all up. He could care less. I mean, whatever. And they go back to Miami and drink Mai Tais. That's the movie in a nutshell. I'm sure back in, 1964 when it was made, and maybe even in 1970 when it was first viewed, it was maybe kind of shocking. The zombies were weird looking. They had it looked like spit wads covering their eyes. I'm not gonna actually put spit wads on my eyes. I thought about it, but I'm not going to. Anyway, it's all right. I'm gonna tell you something about zombie movies here in a second. Let me readjust. Right now, I'd like to take just a minute to talk about the history of zombie movies, So, first of all, zombies come from Haitian culture. Zombie actually comes from the word zonbi, Z-O-N-B-I, which means ghost or departed spirit, I think. And then it, later became zombie. The first zombie movie was White Zombie. Bela Lugosi was in it. I think it was 1932. And yes, that is where White Zombie, the band, got their name. Flash forward. So the 30s were filled with voodoo zombies. Throughout the 40s, 50s, and 60s, almost all of the zombie movies still had a voodoo element. And whether or not it was a mad scientist that was creating the zombie army, or if there was some kind of reanimation technique employed by some spell by a voodoo priestess, whatever it was, there was still a voodoo element involved. Until George Romero came along and changed the game, literally revolutionized the zombie movies and set forth the rules that all the zombie movies have pretty much followed since, with A Night of the Living Dead. He made it to where these zombies rose from the grave having nothing to do with any kind of voodoo ritual. They indiscriminately ate human flesh and infected other people by their zombie bites. Their zombies were, they were afraid of the daylight, and to kill them, you had to shoot them in the head. These rules, some were changed and shifted and played with, but they were constantly revisited in zombie movies from then until now. And I think that is pretty fascinating. Here's a little reason why he didn't copyright his movie. So they showed A Night of the Living Dead all of the time on TV. In fact, it was the first horror movie I ever saw. I saw it when I was probably 7. It was running on TV, and I shouldn't have seen it at that time, but I did. And so did so many others. It became one of the most viewed horror movies of all time and inspired generations to come. My final impressions on I Eat Your Skin is that it's an okay horror movie. For what it is. It sounds really cool next to the title, I Drink Your Blood. It makes a fascinating and wonderful movie poster, and I can see why they chose it for a double feature with I Drink Your Blood. But it's nothing I would, tell my friends to hunt down and go watch. If you're going to watch I Drink Your Blood and you want the whole experience, sure, go ahead and put it on Netflix and chill with someone, if you know what I mean, even though it's not on Netflix, but you know what I mean. It's okay, it's black and white horror, it's cheap sets and practical effects, but it's nothing to write your mummy about. As you can see, I'm almost out of bubbles, so let's wrap this up. Please like and subscribe to this video, and in the comments let me know what 70s horror movie you might want me to discuss next, or drop me a comment about your favorite zombie movie. Until then, my name is Scarah, Damsel of the Doomed, and I'll see you in your screams. Oh, you're still here? Did you like the video yet? Well, go ahead and do that. And while you're at it, here are some more videos for you to watch. Oh my God, my whole tit's falling out.